Okay, Melissa, this is going to be probably my last video for today, unless you want some more, and I'll gladly do that. As you can see, I've turned the canvas upside down, so the one we just did was on the bottom. So now we're focusing on just kind of a plain blue sky. I've got the basic colors on here: red, blue, yellow, white, a little muddied, and black. I'm going to move back to my filbert brush. I'm going to show you how I did kind of those northern lights. I'll try to do a kind of a variation between the one that was a little bit more plain and the black light one, and hopefully you'll get an idea. But I'm going to use my filbert brush. The thing of it is, anything that goes on this blue, so with most paints, the yellow, the blue, and the red are fairly transparent. So if I go straight on there with red and go on there, you're going to barely see it. It's going to be very dark. Same with the yellow, it's going to be very dark. If I mix a little white into it, it brings up the opacity. It's less see-through and it covers more. So I'm going to probably be using some white with pretty much everything. So mixing a little white here, and I'll put in some yellow in there. It's still going to look very yellow, but now it's got a little bit of that white in there, which makes it less see-through. Got my brush kind of sharpened up, and I'm going to just kind of pull up a very light feel. I don't know, I'm just say kind of right here's the center. So I'm just kind of very lightly, you can see that stripe. I'll pull a few up, and I'm just pulling up and coming off the canvas. So I come down and I come up and come off the canvas. I can squish a little harder. Just throw a few here willy-nilly. Some will be a little higher, and I'm just going to quickly just cruise across, starting from the bottom, moving up, and figuring out where my horizon line is. We're going to do kind of like we did down here with the mountains, and it'll cover up a lot of these on the bottom. So I'm going to pull some of these up. I might even go in there and I'm going to pick up a little bit more white, so it makes it real bright. So it's still some yellow on my dirty brush. You can see that's a lot wider. Pull some of these up. Some are thicker, some are thinner. I got to keep going in and adding some paint to it and resharpening my brush by flattening it out against my palette. And just kind of doing this move. All right, you can see me going up and down. Probably hear the dogs barking. They're enjoying themselves. Zach got a new dog. It's a boxer puppy, and Boo, our little Chihuahua, doesn't like her much, so she barks at her all the time. Plus, Hannah just came back from the gym, so she's barking at that. Anyway, so here at this point, all I've done is variations of yellow with some white, a little more white, a little less white. Okay, some are a little taller. I can go way up here, doesn't matter. And I'm using that filbert brush. I could even go this way. All right, now that I've got that, I'm going to go ahead and switch. Haven't really cleaned my brush much, and maybe I'll do some pinks. So some red. Actually, maybe I'll do some oranges. I'll use some of that red and that yellow I just had. With a little bit of white in there, it's going to look kind of coral color. That's okay. And there we go. So I got a nice kind of an orangish coral color. Same thing. I'm going to pop a few in there. Okay, you can see it's kind of a very light, almost salmon color. Kind of fudged right there. Oh well. Resharp my brush, a little more paint. Some are going up. Some are a little higher than others. I'm just throwing some willy-nilly. Okay. So you can just send it, kind of looks, I don't know, it looks really weird. Almost like a sound wave would look. I don't know, I guess. I'll throw a little more red in there, a little bit darker pink. Dog just about wiped out my tripod. There's a few of those. I'm trying not to cover up what I've already put down, so I'm kind of going in between. It's okay if I cover a little bit, but... Okay. So maybe now I want some aqua color, something that's some greens. I'm going to pull out a little bit of blue, mix it into some of my yellow I already have, the yellow white rather. I'm going to add some more white to it so it shows. Kind of this color here. It's almost like this color. And get it thin and just see what happens. See what happens here. Maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't. Okay, they're all right. You can see a few of those. Don't love it, don't hate it, it'll work. Just throw a few here and there. I kind of like having a dirty brush. I like some of the little variations of different colors on the brush. It adds some pretty stripes to it. So anyways, you can see, I mean, this is what, 3 minutes or so. Add a little more white to it. Dawn's walking by. She says hi, trust me. Okay, so now I've got all these kind of a rainbow colors. All right, so try not to overdo it. I don't know, what else could I add to that? Maybe, I don't know, maybe a purple. Maybe a purple. We'll do a real fast little purple, see what happens there. So a little red, a little blue, They're very transparent, so I have to add some white to it. So, let's see what I got here. There's a dark purple, and I'll add a little white to it, so it'll show. I get more of a violet color. And see what we got here. Alrighty. So there we go. And there's kind of a purple color. And I gotta be careful because it's pretty close to the background, so it'll end up just looking like background. But I'll just throw a few of those in there. Throw some of these up in the sky. It's darker up here, way up high. Okay, now that I've got that, I'm gonna go ahead and pause and start again because I'm afraid that our video is gonna be too long. So I've got that. You can see where I'm gonna come back behind the camera and just kind of a Mod Podge of different colors there, all right? Now the next thing we want to do is add some darks in the very top. So dark blue, darker than what's already there, and some black, all right? So that'll be on the next video.